which we all know is my favourite thing. I don't like fiddling. Hey guys, hope you're keeping safe and well. Welcome to today's video, which is a bike check on the brand new orange Switch 6. Like all our YouTube videos, it comes with a massive giveaway every single week, and this week we are giving away a quad lock mountain bike mount. So the Switch 6 is what they call on the streets as a mullet bike. Now that means that you have a 29-inch wheel at the front and a 27.5-inch wheel at the back. This makes for a very different ride to your normal bikes if you're going one or the other, because basically you get the best of both worlds. Up front you have the stability, control and safetiness of a big wheel rolling over all the roots and everything in your way. And at the back of the bike you've got fast acceleration from the smaller wheel, as well as really nice through the tight twisty turns. Up front, as always, I have the safetiness and reliability of the Schwalbe Magic Mary. And as always, I go for the Addix soft compound. I don't want the ultra soft up front unless I'm racing. A couple of the other cool things about this that we have just added to it as well is the brand new Uberbike tubeless setup. Wheelbase is the same as my Alpine 6. It's the ultra reliable, seriously strong, and again, I never ever maintain them because they just work. DT Swiss EX 1501 rims. Okay, moving on to the braking, it's the same again. The super reliable, incredibly powerful Shimano Saint, made even better by the Uberbike brake pads. I've gone for the e-bike specific pad. Now, although this is not an e-bike, the compound that Uberbike are using on their e-biking brake pads give more power. And this bike is a race bike for me, so I want as much power as I can possibly put through that system. Something a little bit different on this bike is the DT Swiss F5351 fork. It's 160 millimeters of possibly the most plush travel that you can get. Usually you have to choose between a spring fork or an air fork, and you can't really mix and match. However, DT Swiss have married both of those together to give the best attributes from both options you could go for. This means the first part of my travel, if you like, the first part of the stroke is on a spring, a very small spring. And it's a couple of millimeters, but that's all it needs, so it picks up the small bump sensitivity and gives the super planted feel to the front of the bike. Then, when things get out of hand, maybe a big jump, a big drop, something's gonna get lively, normally we'd find that you'd blow through the travel quite quick, but because then only part of the fork is on an air chamber, it's controlled so much better. This means that I don't blow through the travel nearly as much as I do on alternative fork options. Coming backwards into the bar area of the bike, I have got the same setup that I always choose, the super stiff, super reliable Renthal alloy bars. Now, because this is a race bike, I've actually set it up slightly different to my Alpine. This is very much race orientated for me. The alterations I've made to this bike, because it's set up for racing, means I've set this bike up to give me 760 millimeters from end to end. The newest addition to the bike is obviously the new Uberbike lock-on grips. I love them. It really sets off the colour scheme on this bike as well, because I can mix and match the clamps and grips. And as always, we've gone for the best that you can possibly get dropper post wise is the Bike Yoke Revive dropper. 185 mil of the best, the most reliable travel that you can get on your dropper post. Like all my other bikes, I have got the quad lock mountain bike mount slapped straight on there with my iPhone 11 strapped to the front of the bike. The reason why I put it there is because I know it's never going to come off. As we move to the middle section of the bike, this is where things get a bit tricky because you've got the partnership from two different bikes in essence. We're marrying up the 27.5 with the 29, and this is where it all gets nice and complex for the designers at Orange. However, yet again, they've proven that they've done it absolutely spot on. Which means I have got 145 mil of travel through my Cane Creek double barrel air shock. Super reliable, super safe and super controllable. The next big thing that you'll notice on here is the seat angle. You can notice how straight up it is as opposed to a lot of bikes that would be hanging over the back. The reason for this is because when you're pedaling, if you think about it, you want to be pedaling down. If you're pedaling down, it means you're going forward in the most efficient manner. And this bike really does differ from all of its rivals on the market. If I was to follow someone down the trail, which I've done numerous times on this bike, I can gain on them in the flat sections much easier due to this design. The pedaling efficiency of this bike is the best of any bike I have ever ridden. Drivetrain wise, it's nice and simple. I've got a Truvative Descendant carbon crank with a 34 tooth chainring. Now this obviously changes every race that we go to. I'm often changing it and putting on a 7-speed downhill setup with a 36 tooth chainring at the front. But for today and for the trails that we're riding, this is spot on. Coming back to the end of the drivetrain, it's nice and simple, nice and reliable, a SRAM EXO 12-speed Eagle cassette. Pedal wise, I have got the brand new Uberbike flat out pedal. I love it, it is bomb proof. I jet wash it to hell every single day and I get told off for it, but hey, it still works every time. I do change it when I race and sometimes I clip in, but for this kind of weather, riding with your friends, having fun on the trails, that's the pedal for you. Rear tyre. Now this obviously changes a bit throughout the year depending on what weather we've got, but this is my go-to setup, so this will do everything I want it to do. It's the ultra reliable Schwalbe Hands Dampf. Addix compound soft as always, 2.35 super gravity. I never get punctures. Now this is actual fact. I've had 3 punctures in the entire time I've been working with Schwalbe, and I think that is 4 years now. 3 punctures, 4 years. Maybe you should check your tyres and what you're running. So in summary, this bike is a race weapon. I would definitely consider buying one if you're thinking about taking part in any enduro or even downhill racing during this year or even next year. It's not necessarily a bike for the huckers and the free riders out there, but it's definitely a speed demon that will be the fastest bike you see on the trail. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope that's been of use to you. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Don't forget to like this video for your chance to win a Quadlock mountain bike mount, and make sure you're subscribed. Click over here if you would like to see an Alpine 6 video, and click here to subscribe to our channel.